In 2021, I drew a Michigan elk tag. When I checked the draw results online, I could not believe what I was seeing. I texted people I knew, sent pictures to people, posted on the internet asking if this was real, and it was. I was one of the lucky ones to draw a Michigan elk tag. So for those of you that don't know, Michigan has wild elk. So I had been applying for this tag for about 12 years. So I had 12 chances to draw this tag. Normally, I put in for an either sex tag, which is essentially a bull tag. This year, I didn't have any other hunts planned besides my normal Indiana hunt. So I decided, what the heck, I might as well put in for a cow tag as well. And I was able to draw a cow tag for the December hunt. Now, if you draw a cow tag, you are not able to apply again for 10 years. If you draw an either sex tag, you're not able to apply again for life. It is a once in a lifetime tag and you cannot apply again even if you're unsuccessful. So this cow tag that I drew is close to being a once in a lifetime tag. So as soon as I knew that I drew it, I got on the phone and I started calling people I knew. Now I got the name of some guides. And I was able to contact a guy, Dan, and I got a hold of him and got booked with him right away. So I spent my summer looking forward to this hunt. I did all kinds of planning, and it was on my mind the whole time. And come the first week of December, I couldn't believe that it was time to head up and go elk hunting in Michigan. I've elk hunted out west, and I knew this was going to be an entirely different experience, but I was so excited. So I got everything packed up in the camper, and we were camping in a campground for the week, and Tyler was going to meet me up in a couple days, and I headed up by myself to kind of get everything set up and ready to go. All right, I am heading north, heading up to the Gaylord area. I drew a Michigan cow elk tag this year. So I'm heading up there for my elk hunt. It runs December 11th through the 19th. It's the 9th of December right now. Getting up here, gonna set up the camper, staying there while we hunt. And yeah, I have been looking forward to this since the second that I saw that I drew this tag. So I can't wait. We're gonna get up here and get settled in, and then in 2 days we're gonna be hunting. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun, and I can't wait. All right, here we are. Home sweet home for the next little bit. So I'll be here either for 5 days or, oh, there goes my phone, or until I shoot one. So the minimum 5 days, and then but the hunt runs through the 19th, so it could be, you know, like 10 days. So yeah, I'm just kind of hanging out in the camper and waiting. I think I might go out here. It's starting to get towards dusk. I think I might go out and drive around a little bit and just kind of see what I can see. So yeah, if I see some deer, some elk, I'll pull the video camera out. So I got up there early, got everything set up, got the camper set, was hanging out by myself, and then the next day I went and met up with Dan Connell, my guide, and we went out and scouted elk. He was getting ready to hunt with 4 hunters total, and he hunts with about 9 guides, and they all had 3 to 4 hunters as well. So he had a lot of elk pinned down, but we were out kind of looking for some more spots, and we spent the day walking. We put a whole bunch of miles on in the snow, and man, what a cool experience. We never saw elk while we were walking. We saw a couple from the road while we were driving, but just walking down elk and elk tracks in Michigan was a pretty wild experience. All right. It's opening morning of elk season in Michigan for the December season. Yeah, pretty excited. Can't wait to get out there. I've got a cow tag. So yesterday we went out and scouted with the guide, Dan. We drove around a lot and did some walking around, found a lot of tracks. We saw some bulls last night, but we're on some elk. So yeah, hopefully we're going to get out there this morning and one on the ground. So Tyler got up there in like the middle of the night. The weather was terrible. So I was asleep when he got up there, but he got up there right about the time it was time for me to get up. We got up, we drove over to meet up with Dan, and then it was time to meet up with the rest of the hunters and get ready to go hunting. So we spent a little time just hanging out in the parking lot, standing around talking, and then it was like all of a sudden it was time to go. Right here. Okay. All right, we're going. Kinda. We gotta come on. All of a sudden it's time to go. And we got a couple other people that gotta hop in the truck with us. So we went down a 2-track along the edge of a field where the elk had been hanging out, and we got down there and we got out of the truck. And we stepped out and it was super foggy that morning. There was tons of snow on the ground, but it was a little warm. So the fog was everywhere. And we started heading down this 2-track walking, and then all of a sudden out of the fog, there was just a whole bunch of elk.
Yep. One in the back.
Is that one in the back?
Yeah. Yep. I'm just gonna spike behind her now.
So by the time the elk appeared out of the fog, they were basically within range. They were 125 to 150 yards out. There were a whole bunch of cows in the group, and there were a few bulls. And it seemed like every time a cow would separate itself from the group, just as soon as I would get on it, a whole bunch more elk would surround it. So it took a little bit of time. It was kind of chaotic, but after a little bit of time, there was one that ended up separate from the rest of the group right in the middle. Now, it might look like from the camera angle that the elk I shot was with other elk, but from the angle I was standing, she was completely silhouetted. There was no other elk behind her. Yeah, I sat and waited and waited and waited, and then all of a sudden she was there by herself. I made sure she was all alone, and I put it on her, and I took a good shot. Now after the shot, you know, I knew I hit her, but she didn't go down, unfortunately. Looking back at it later, she was quartering to me a little more than I thought. So even though I put it behind her shoulder, it was a touch back from where I wanted to be. So she ran down into the woods separate from the herd. They all kind of ran high. She stayed low. So, you know, it was one of those things where it was like, well, what do we do? You know, it was going to start to rain. So we walked down and looked, and she was bleeding like crazy. So we started to track her, and we bumped her right away. So we made the decision to back out and give her a few hours.
All right. Well, we just put a balloon in one. Made it to the woods. There's good blood, so we're gonna give it a little bit of time. As you can probably hear, it's pouring rain. So we're gonna wait a little bit, let it go in there and die, and then go in after. Hopefully the rain kind of lets off by then. So yeah, got one down.
So we waited a few hours and we went back in to look for her. Luckily, there was enough blood left in the snow where we could see where she went. It wasn't a ton, but it was enough to where we could tell what tracks were hers. We got in, we got on them, and we started following them into the woods. So as we were walking along in the woods, we didn't go very far, maybe just a couple hundred yards, and Dan all of a sudden said, there she is, there she is. And she was bedded down out probably about 75 yards out in front of us. She was still alive, her head was up, so we needed to scoot in, get a little closer, and make a good killing shot on her.
Yeah, we got her done. Holy cow. Oh, it's not the way I necessarily would have wanted it to happen, but she's done. So, yeah. Man, I'm just glad there was a little bit of remnants of blood to
Yeah.
I know. I mean, when it got in with that herd,
Yeah.
I was a little nervous,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, me too.
I cannot believe how much of it walked away.
Yeah, you could see where it like kind of had been in a lot of places where it was like yellow like that, but yeah. Yeah.
So I was able to put her down, and yeah, what an incredible experience. I mean, it wasn't 100% the way that I would have wanted it to go. I would have liked to have dropped it right there in the field, but to get a Michigan elk on the first day of my hunt was just an incredible experience. I couldn't thank everybody involved enough. Dan, the guide, my brother Tyler for being along with me, all the other hunters that were with us. It was just an incredible experience, one that I will absolutely never forget.
There you go. All right, man, look at that. Big ol' cow. Big ol' animal. Holy crap, look at that on that thing. This is pretty cool. Once in a lifetime deal. Michigan elk. Man. Incredible. Alright, here she is, man. Wow, what a rush, what a fun hunt, what a phenomenal thing to do. Essentially once in a lifetime Michigan elk. Got her on the ground. Things didn't go 100% how I would have liked, but I'll take this outcome. So glad we could get her down.
So after I was finally able to put the cow elk down and we got up to her and we're hanging out, we did a post-hunt interview. And I was still trying to comprehend everything that happened. I wasn't thrilled with my shooting. Everything was kind of a blur in my head. And the interview we did wasn't great. It was just kind of lackluster. So after we had checked her in with the DNR and gutted her and dragged her out to the field, we did another interview. Unfortunately, due to the pouring rain, the mic that we had shorted out or something. The connection was bad. I don't know what happened, but we had zero audio with that interview. So I wasn't able to use it, and had to use the one where I was still slightly disappointed in myself. So if I could do it all over again, literally the only thing I would change would be to make sure that the mic was working. But otherwise, like, what an incredible hunt, what an incredible experience. There are very few people in this world that are going to be able to say that they killed a Michigan elk.
Thank you very much for checking out our video. If you like what you see, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the notifications bell. That way you can get notifications every time we post new content. And if you haven't already, make sure to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and you can check out our website at www.vitalshopproductions.com.